Hey, welcome to the fourth and final video of the CPCU 556 video series. Today we are going over a practice exam for the CPCU 556, giving you a couple exam questions, showing you how to approach and solve them, and giving you an answer explanation for each. Again, this video is presented by AssociatePI. We're an independent organization, not affiliated with the institutes or the CPCU. I'm Jake. I passed my 556 exam, and I'm going to help you pass yours. And as I mentioned, this is the fourth and final video. If you want to see the other videos, go to AssociatePI.com/videos. All right, so let's get into it. We're going to go over 3 sample questions. Example 1 is going to be a sample concept question, one that you might see on part A of your exam. These are often formatted in a format that says, which of the following is true? In example number 2, this is often formatted as a question that is saying, this is an example of what? So it'll give you almost like a real life scenario, and it'll ask you, this is exemplifying what? So that's what we're going to do in part 2, or example 2. That's something you might see in part A or part B of your exam. It could be on either, because it's kind of a scenario question, kind of a concept question, so you often see them on either part. And question number 3, by far the most difficult. This is a part B question, so it's a scenario question that puts you in the shoes of a financial advisor. You have to make a recommendation based on a real life scenario. So that is definitely the most difficult. So let's get into it. All right, so starting with question number 1, as I mentioned, this is a concept question, something you will probably see on part A of your exam. So I'm not going to spend too much time reading through the question, answer options, or explanation, so please feel free to pause this video at any time to fully read everything, because I'm going to throw a lot of text at you, a lot of content on these slides. And you can pause the video, answer it on your own, and then I'll go into the explanation and how to approach each question. So let's start with the concept question, question number 1. Question says, which of the following is true in regards to a defined contribution plan? So as I mentioned, concept questions might be formatted as something like this, that says which of the following is true. And out of these answer options, you have to choose the best. So let's go on to the explanation. Correct answer is C. There is no retirement benefit guarantee for the employee. So this is a tricky one because you have to know the difference between a defined benefit plan and a defined contribution plan. So under a defined contribution plan, the employer does not guarantee a retirement benefit. That's under a defined benefit plan. So tricky. The answer options will try to confuse you like that. So you got to know the difference between defined benefit and defined contribution. All right, question number 2. This one says, Amy is insured under a consumer-directed health plan. While visiting the doctor for a minor surgery, she is required to pay a $5,000 deductible. Amy pays $4,500 of this deductible from her health savings account, which is funded by her employer. She pays the remaining $500 of the deductible out of her pocket from her personal savings account. This is an example of what? So you can see this is, as I mentioned earlier, an example question where it's formatted as this is an example of what. You can see it's a real life scenario, so it might be in part A or part B of your exam. But it's asking you, what does this scenario exemplify? So let's look at the answer. So the answer is A, health reimbursement account. So we know it's a health reimbursement account because the health reimbursement account is funded by the employer, funded by premiums and payments from the employer. It accumulates value for the insured to pay the deductible. And then once that runs out, Amy would pay the rest out of pocket. So you can read the full explanation here. Feel free to pause the video. I'm not going to read all of this. And then we'll go on to explanation part 2 right here. So as you can see, there's 2 different types of personal healthcare spending accounts under the consumer-directed health plan. So you have to know that. So you have to pick up from the question that it's talking about a consumer-directed health plan. So you have to know that there's the HRA and HSA. In this case, it's talking about the HRA. So you can read the definition of HRA here and the definition of HSA as well to know that this is indeed an HRA. All right, let's look at question number 3. Again, this is a difficult case question, going to be in part B of your exam. So this one says, Dan is retired. Dan was involved in a bad accident this past January, requiring him to pay $10,000 for a new car. pay for this bad accident, Dan withdrew $15,000 from his 401k retirement account. As Dan's financial advisor, what should you recommend when he is considering withdrawing additional funds from his retirement account at the end of the year? So you can see this is a tough question, a real life scenario. You are the financial advisor. What would you recommend to Dan? So let's look at the answer. Answer is A, withdraw from a Roth IRA. So essentially the explanation is Dan will have a higher than average income tax liability for the year because he already withdrew from his 401k this year. So in that case, since his income tax liability is already high, he should withdraw from the Roth IRA because it will not further affect his income tax liability since he is already going to owe a lot of taxes from what he withdrew from his 401k. And here's a much bigger explanation. Feel free to pause the video and read this, but it's a bigger breakdown of when to withdraw from, or what accounts you should withdraw from when you have a higher income tax liability during the year. So this is the basis of why Dan should withdraw from a Roth IRA. So you can see, very tough question. You got to know a lot to answer this question. You have to fully understand the concepts and the tax implications of the IRA and the 401k and the Roth IRA. It's a really tough question. Puts you in the shoes of a financial advisor. You have to make the best recommendation. And if you want more of these practice questions just like this, I highly recommend you download the free practice exam from AssociatePI.com/practice exam. We'll give you more of these Part A and Part B questions so you can practice and prepare for your exam. We'll also send you our free study guide for the 556 and our taxation guide to ensure you take notes on the most important financial products and the minor details and tax concepts for each. So get that at AssociatePI.com/practice exam if you have not already done so. And that's it for this video. If you want to read more about the CPCU 556, including some details about the exam difficulty, more exam questions, how to approach and solve them, in the exam format, you can check that out at AssociatePI.com/CPCU 556. And if you want to check out the other videos from this 4-part video series for the CPCU 556, go over to AssociatePI.com/videos. And that is it. I am confident that you are going to pass the 556 exam, but if you have any questions, you can contact me. I'm Jake. You can reach me at contact@AssociatePI.com. Good luck on your exam. I look forward to hearing from you if you have any questions, but I know you're going to pass.